linebackers so far with Sonny and CJ? Just how do you see that playing out?
I just think those guys are competing. You want to put them in situations where they're getting similar calls, and they're working with all the groups. So I've told the guys over and over, I think as we go through this season, since it'll be a long one, if you earn the right to play, you'll rotate. And that's just going to be how your performance is going to go through the whole season. So I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, this guy's here or there. I think it's constantly fluent. And I like that. It keeps a little edge to it. You got to make plays if you want to go out there with the first unit. So they're both doing a good job. I think, the biggest thing when you go through camp, you get installs. As they keep building, you have to keep combing through the early stuff. You can't have repeat offenders with mistakes. So the guys are doing a good job competing, and we've had a physical practice today, so it'll be good to get in there and see how it went. Well, they're both, obviously you look at their physical traits, extremely impressive with their size and how they move. Obviously, Sonny has a perspective coverage-wise, I think, coming from safety down to the box. The thing you had to work on with Sonny was just his footwork, getting him to slow down a little bit. You want to be so fast to go so often. You got to get him to really understand that you can't cross over in the box. You got to be able to shuffle and be slow till it's time to be fast. And CJ has this natural ability that when he blitzes, he can reduce the surface and he makes stuff happen, So they both have unique traits, both very talented, and they both want to be great. When you talk to them, they both want to learn. And so that's all you can appreciate as a coach, is they just want to get better.
That word consistency was used a lot with CJ over the last couple of years. Are you starting to see that? You mentioned earlier, repeat offenders. Are you starting to see some consistency in the way CJ is playing?
Yeah, I think it's just no matter who it is, whether it's CJ or anybody in our room, if you want to be trusted, right? It's not just you're trying to prove it to me. You're trying to prove it to your boys next to you. You know what I mean? I remember when I played, I just wanted Malcolm to trust that I was going to be where I was supposed to be when I was supposed to be there, and that's it. And so we preach that to everybody. I think CJ's doing a nice job so far this fall. And, he's just got to keep going. It's got to be an everyday thing for all of our guys. You know what I mean? And I think at times, he would have a good day, and then he'd have a big day where it'd be like, okay, we got to cut, some certain things out. But so far he's been locked in, and his attitude has been great. And, see how today goes. You never know how practice truly, really goes till you go watch the film, but he's been doing well so far.
Like what you said. Cody at this point as the Mike linebacker, but probably need more guys that can probably play in that role. As Gabe showed you for the last 9 months, he can be a guy that you can maybe trust in that Mike linebacker spot.
Yeah, I think Gabe Powers has gotten a lot more confident. I'm always pushing Gabe. When you are the Mike linebacker in any scheme, you have to make the calls, right? You have to be the general on the field. And then if the D-line or if someone is out of position, it is your job to make it right. And so I'm constantly, it's not just Gabe, it's Arvell, it's the young guys. You got to be the general. You got to fix everything as a Mike. And that's the job description. Gabe's done a nice job. He's starting to kind of get more comfortable in that role of speaking up, being loud, demonstrative in those moments. Arvell Reese has done a nice job studying the playbook, really getting it down. Arvell's had a nice fall. So, I think the development behind Cody is coming along. And then I think, a guy who can handle multiple positions mentally is Peyton Pierce. I think Peyton has done a nice job, being at will, but he also understands conceptually kind of the defense. So he's doing a nice job as well. So it's been a good start trying to develop guys behind Cody.
Like you said, the length of the season.
He's not behind at all. He's not behind at all. Peyton's, there's some certain, maybe tweaks that to the defense that he hasn't, you got to feel and experience and stuff, But the thing you notice from day one with Peyton is that he was going to come downhill, and he's very natural in the box. Has an understanding for blocking schemes and how to fall back on certain gaps, and just a very natural, smart football player and tough. So he's a scrapper. Not surprised. We knew that when you recruited him coming out of Texas and being a wrestler background, but very smart, instinctual linebacker.
Like you said, the good mention about Sonny was sort of the top of the learning curve was really sort of happening to a linebacker. What are the things you've seen him do over the last 4, 5, 6 months that have sort of enabled him to do that?
I think the thing with Sonny is that he wants to be great, so he wants to understand. He doesn't just ask a question about, what am I supposed to do? He wants to understand why. Like, why are you asking me to do this? Right. So the way that he has grown, I think, from the spring is an example, right? It's like, hey, where do I fit on this blitz? Well, it's understanding where the line is slanting, where the blitz is coming from. So when you are in certain positions as a linebacker, everything's in phase. I got to send this back to my help, right? It's understanding that versus there's a growth in the level. It's always knowing what to do, right? How to do it. And then why are we doing it? Those are the 3 levels of learning it. I got to know what I'm doing, right? How to do the job. And then why are you asking me to do this job? I think Sonny has always been so inquisitive about all 3 of those things.
What have you seen from Garrett Stover so far? He's someone maybe they can contribute right away on special teams.
Garrett can run. I can tell you that. Like, Garrett can run. I think sometimes you got to get him to just slow down. Can be a little spastic at times just with his feet, but he can. And when I think of Garrett Stover, if he's not on our kickoff unit, then that's a problem because he can fly. And so Garrett's doing well. There's a learning curve there with him, but I think the thing that I love about Garrett is he's tough, man. Those Stover boys are tough. So, but he's learning as well, and him and Peyton being roommates is a great thing because those guys are trying to get in the book, and so I think Garrett's going to have a role and somewhat on special teams.
James, it seems like every time we talk to you or Jim about CJ, you guys bring up the ability to blitz. Is that something that you would like to see more from your linebackers, or is that kind of making sure to mention that he's good at that? Where does he need to improve as a linebacker? You can't just blitz him.
Yeah, I think for CJ is when the ball is snapped, just pulling your trigger, like using your ability and just going. So I think, you bring up the fact that he's a good blitzer because when you are telling him, hey, you're going here, he's very disruptive. And I think he's probably the best blitzer in our room. Arvell might have an argument with that. I'm sure Sonny wants to have an argument with that, but CJ just makes stuff happen when you send him. Right. And so when it's a zone scheme, it's just trusting like, hey, you know what to do, just go, pull your trigger. You know what I mean? And I think CJ's gotten better at that this fall so far. And so it's just getting them to, like, when you play linebacker and the thing opens up, you got to trust, like, hey, I'm supposed to do this thing. If it closes, now find the ball. You know what I mean? And so it's just continually working with the guys. And he's not the only one where it's just pull your trigger and go. But CJ has a uncanny ability when he blitzes to make stuff happen.
Guys, 2 more for James. He's got Travion Henderson at the.
How much of that comfort in being able to do that is just simply because he understands the system he's in now?
Yeah.
Versus where he was 2 years ago, where he's also trying to learn a new system.
It's very hard as a linebacker in general, and this is any linebacker. When you are learning a system, you are trying to learn, what am I doing? And if you don't know, stuff happens, set hut, you're not going to play fast. I mean, that was myself included when you're young. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do. Once you know where you're supposed to do, what the alignments are, the adjustments, now I can diagnose what's the offense giving me. And then you can predict plays, you can anticipate. Because if you're reacting at linebacker, you're not going to be good enough. You got to be able to anticipate and know exactly where you're supposed to go. And so I think just the experience in the system has helped him, and it'll help everybody. The more you do it over and over and over and over, the game starts to slow down for you. Then you can go make plays. It's Cody. Cody Simon. I mean, Cody Simon is a guy you could put at Tim, at Mike, at Will, at Sam. You can move them all around. He's the unquestioned leader of the group. He's the leader of the defense. Gets everybody lined up. Very technical. Has really good footwork. Really clean footwork, which allows him to change direction and get off blocks and tackle well. So I think Cody Simon is probably, if you said who's the most overall, LB, just because he can go anywhere and he can do anything for us.
So is the drive right now to bring those other guys up to that level? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you giving a little bit? If you put a guy in that has got a shortcoming but has a big upside stuff, I mean, how do you claim that as a coach?
They just got to play, man. They just got to play. And I think the more reps and the more you kind of move guys around, sometimes it'll be Cody and CJ, it'll be Cody and Sonny, it'll be Arvell and Sonny, it'll be Arvell and CJ, Gabe, and you're just moving guys around. I mean, for the first time today, Peyton got two reps at Mike. I just want to see how he'd handle it, because he's a guy that seems to understand conceptually what the scheme is. And so you're not just teaching a guy, hey, the Mike backer does this. It's like, okay, no, it's cover 3. There's a curl flat guy, hook curl flat. Who are those 4 pieces underneath, right? And then that way, if you put them at somewhere else, it's like, well, if I was here and now I'm here, can they figure it out? And because that's football. Sometimes the nickel's supposed to go to the boundary. Sometimes he's not. Well, coach, he's supposed to go there. I don't care. We're linebackers. Figure it out. Bump out, play the other. So it's always cross-training them, Tim. You're trying to – I don't want only like the will linebackers that know one technique and the Mike that's know another technique. No, they got to know both. Because in our scheme, they're going to be put in both situations. I don't care maybe if the Mike only does this technique 10% of the time. Well, at 10%, you're at Ohio State. You got to execute it. I don't care if you only got 10%. You know what I mean? So it's the expectation is to know what you're doing.
Great, James. Thank you very much. I got to wrap him up, guys.
Am I good?
Yes, you're good.
I'm good.
Folks, we have Carlos Locklyn. Need to go to the coaches show over there. Got Carlos Locklyn on the middle 20, folks.
Oh man, I'm that short.
No, it's James is just that tall.
Yeah, this bad here, y'all. Hey, you can't get in no lower. That man, I can't believe I'm that short. I thought there you go. I thought I was 6 foot.
Just scoot up a little bit if you don't mind.
And still on my and next time I put a book up on the hill or something. Just in this low.
Carlos, how comfortable do you feel right now if you need to play James or Sam in the big spot?
Use the word comfortable. Me, I ain't never comfortable. I live my life being uncomfortable, and I get comfortable. I'm confident that they'll get the job done. Know why? Because I'm confident in me. So I got confidence in them, so they'll be able to get the job done.
How have you seen them grow from the spring to where they are right now?
They made tremendous growth. Obviously, they got the talent, but now it's just creating the mindset. I tell the players all the time, you're going to take on my mindset. And if you've been out there watching us work, they work. They know they're going to hear my voice every from the time I get here at 4:30 in the morning, I start working out, I see them, they hear my voice. I can tell coaches all the time, if your player playing soft, missing assignments, that's on you. When Coach Dave says something about the back, I take it personal. Why? Because that's on me. Don't yell at the kid. Get on the coach. Get on me. It's my job to fix it. So I expect from them to play with my mindset and take everything, serious. And I'm going to hold them accountable and they hold me accountable.
What did James and Sam do well skill set-wise?
Both are good runners. The hardest thing for young running backs, because they don't learn in high school is pass pro. But they both got the right mindset. They're both very coachable. Something I learned from the last place I was at from Coach Landon, and I try to teach the players here, my backs here, to have a growth mindset and not have a fixed mindset. Be open to be coached. I ask the guys all the time, do you give me permission to coach? They raise their hand, they say, yes, okay, well, I'm a coach. So they both got the right mindset. They want to be coached. They want to become better players.
What do you see get better with Quinshon over the last several months?
With him, it's just as I tell him all the time, the stay in speed when he run. He's such a powerful runner. He know the things he got to work on for his pad leverage. But like I said, he's very gifted. But the thing I've seen him get better at the most is he's a sponge. He's taking in everything. A great attitude. Like I say, he has a growth mindset, and he can take my coaching because I'm barking at him every day. I know I coach. I don't like I tell everybody. We got 2 kids in our room that's not on scholarship, and I tell all of them, for me, all of them on scholarship. Chase and Cisse, they gonna get it too. I put my foot in them just as well. I put my foot in, and Trey and Q, all of them get it because the kids want to be coached, and it's my job to coach them.
Can you tell Quinshon has played at a high level? As a guy moves through the college ranks, can you tell he's sort of been there, done that to a certain extent? Where does it show up?
It shows up in his physicality, the way he run, but also we from the same city. He better come with it, or I'm gonna talk about him bad.
Lock, Ryan Day mentioned in June, just like out of the blue. Well, Caleb Downs could spend some time in the running back.
As one of my mentors, he's a running back coach down there at Florida State. Coach Lock on fries. I don't have nothing to do with that. I do my job and do what the head coach tells me to do. So that right there, I have no input on that. But like I said, as my mentor David Yak Johnson said, Coach Lock on fries, man.
What would that look like if you needed to get somebody like that ready in a short time frame?
I'm confident I'll be able to get them ready, but I'm also confident in the guys I got in the room, and say a prayer over them every day that they stay healthy. So I'm confident in them guys.
All those guys in your room, just a little bit of practice we saw, it felt like they looked pretty comfortable catching the football out of the backfield. Do you anticipate that being I know you weren't here before. Could that be something we see more from the Ohio State offense than maybe we've seen in the past?
I mean, you should, because like I said, I tell guys all the time, the day of the dinosaur is dead. You got to be a multifaceted back. You got to be able to catch the ball. That's something we work in drills. All the guys in the room have pretty good ball skills, can catch the ball. Like I said, the quarterbacks do a great job of checking the ball down us, and Coach Kelly preached that to the quarterbacks, and Coach Dave preached it to the quarterbacks. So they all got good hands. But yeah, I think we'll be part of that as the offense as well.
Is that an area where Sam stands out with that catching out of the backfield?
I mean, he stands out in every aspect, not just that. He can run, he can catch. I ain't recruiting dinosaurs. I want a multifaceted back, so he can do it all. But he got to be able to pass block, got to be able to run, and he got to be able to catch. He's doing a good job. But like I tell the kids all the time, you better get comfortable being uncomfortable around me, because I want to make you uncomfortable every day.
You mentioned Cisse as one of those other backs you have in the room. How do you guys come upon him, and what is he bringing right now?
Like I said, it ain't just me in the running back room. Tony Johnson, who helps me, does a tremendous job. That's my right-hand man. A lot of time, in this profession, you always look at the position coach. I like to celebrate the others. Tony does a great job of, helping me out and evaluating backs of who we need to get in the walk-ons. That's one of his finds. And he said the kid was good. I watched him, and the kid is actually a good player. But that's Tony Johnson finding that one. That ain't Coach Lock.
I think people are pretty aware of what makes Crenshaw and Trey good at this point. But with people who are maybe not familiar with Sam and James, in terms of what makes them such good running backs, how would you describe them?
Tough physical runners, slashers, good hands, willing pass pass protectors. Of course they were here before I got here. But like I said, both of the kids have been a joy to work with. So, but like I tell the kids all the time, you're gonna take on my mindset regardless, because I'm gonna attack you every day.
Are they? You said willing pass protectors, but where are they in terms of being able to execute that?
They actually doing a good job. They doing a good job. And if they're not doing a good job, guess whose fault that is? This guy. All right, they doing a good job though.
With you and Trey, how do you balance the unselfishness versus wanting them to want the ball?
So how I balance that? Yeah. From the first day I got here, April 2nd, I told him we're gonna learn how to be one. It doesn't cost you anything to celebrate another man's success. See, so many people get caught up in this game of these accolades. I tell the kids all the time, don't get caught up reading your newspaper clipping. I'm gonna hold you accountable, but we're gonna learn how to play as one in there. If Trey has success, that means Q, James, Sam, Chase, Cisse, we all had success. So when your number call, go.
How have you seen them respond to that situation?
They ain't got no choice. I'm running the room.
You mentioned Tony giving some input with guys and all that. He's one of those off-field guys and can coach during practice. Does he help you during drills and practice?
We talk the same language. I learned that from the guy I came up under who Trey came. We talk the same language in the room. So James, if James or Sam are late for a meeting that he called, that's just like you being late for me. You're gonna pay the piper. So when they hear Coach Johnson, they hear me. We won.
Coach Lock, how is it working with Trey and Quinshon? They seem like they've built a close relationship.
We ain't got no choice. We learn to be one. So I told them day one, they got to feed off one another. But they work well together. They pushing one another. We all competing. No, they're competing to be the best backs in the country. I'm competing to be the best running back coach in the country. So it's all healthy. But they both are being great leaders in the room. They're doing a good job.
What's it like to be a running backs coach with Chip Kelly as offensive coordinator?
I'm just excited to be here. But you saying what it's like being a running back coach for him?
Yeah.
It's the same feeling I got being a running back coach for Dan Lanning, Tyson Hill. I'm just happy to be coaching football, pointing to young men. So I'm happy to be working with Coach Kelly, just as happy I was working with Tyson Hill, as happy as I was working with Dan Lanning. I'm just excited to be coaching.
Scheme-wise, though, they talk about how dynamic it's been already. The running backs have said that. What does it feel like to have your guys out there in that kind of dynamic scheme?
As a running back coach, you want your guys to have the ball. So I'm excited to see how things gonna look when the season start. With Coach Kelly calling plays and him and Coach Day, like you talking about these two, like two of the top brains in the game. So I'm excited to see how it's gonna go.
What's that like? The dynamic between Ryan and Chip. You talk about them being two of the top brains in the game. What's that like to see them work together?
To me, it's like I'm in school. I get to learn every day. I sit back and learn. I think somebody sent me a picture. They thought me and Chip was out on the field dancing. We were actually talking over counter run steps. So it's like I'm like a sponge. I'm trying to soak up as much knowledge as I can. No different than the last place I was. I've been fortunate enough to be around some great football minds, and every coach that I've been up under has affected me in some kind of way. And Coach Day and Coach Kelly the same way.
Great, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nicole, Carlos on his way over. Working there, just gonna lob some. Thank you for your time.